So I've had a lot of ups and downs on my fitness journey and a lot of trouble getting success to stick. And I found that consistency over the past 8, 9, 10 months after, gosh, years of just trying and failing. And there are 3 meta level guidelines, piece of advice that I want to give you. And these all had to be true of my life before I really found things sticking. So number one, when you're starting out, you got to start small, right? You got to give yourself grace to count the low bar as a win. And yes, you'll progress, but give yourself grace. When you can only show up and do the bare minimum, you're building that consistency. You want consistently good instead of occasionally great, as the saying goes. And then number 2 is that you want a system where you can show up every day, put in the work, repeat the effort, and then your goals are in the back of your mind, but you're not focused on those daily, oh, why am I not there? Why am I not at that goal? You're doing the actions every day to put in the work and achieve those systems. And then number 3, you have to start with your heart in the right place. And for me, there's no way to do that better than my faith. If I believe that I have intrinsic value, then that is an antidote, that is a weapon against trying to find my identity in achievement or in what the world says, right? That can come from comparison. How am I doing related to everyone else? How am I doing related to what these standards are that I see on, fitness influencer channels, that sort of thing. So that's finding validation externally. Or I will tend to find it internally by what I think of myself. What can I achieve? What can I accomplish to prove to myself that I have value, that I have worth? And so none of these things that I'm doing, the fitness, the wellness, any of that, you don't need faith for that. And there's nothing wrong with doing those things. Nothing wrong. You can have no faith and do all those things very well. And plenty of people do, by the way, better than me even. But for me and my perspective, there are only so many times where you can ask, why am I doing this hard thing? Why am I willingly choosing to do a hard thing when I don't want to? And that's the secret, by the way. Nobody wants to be in the gym all the time. They just want the version of themselves on the other side of putting in that work. And so when I ask myself why, there's only so many times I can ask why up the chain. Like, why do I want to look good? Why do I want approval? Why do I want people to like me? Why do I want to feel good or be healthy and be around for anyone who loves me? And ultimately, the why, when things get hard enough, you need a really strong why. And it's hard to sort of keep asking why up the chain and not arrive at a question of, well, why am I here? What's the purpose for life anyway? And what I strongly believe is that there is a God who sent his son to die for me because I have intrinsic value and he loves me. And so if that's my starting point, then I don't need to find my identity. I don't need to find my worth in either chasing benchmarks that someone else in the world has set, and I don't need to find value in proving to myself that I can accomplish hard things or look a certain way or do any sort of thing in order to have value. And it doesn't mean you can't do those things. You just don't want to do them because you desperately need them to know that you are worth something. If you know that you're worth something outside of that, then that is going to be a much healthier place to start. So that's the third meta tip, and that's all I got.